What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video on the channel. And in today's video, I will be ranking every single book from the Riordanverse series. Now, this is only going to be the books from the main series, so it's going to be the 21 books, 5 books from the Percy Jackson series, 5 books from the Lost Hero series, 5 books from the Trials of Apollo series, 3 books from the Throne of the Kane Chronicles series, and 3 books from the Magnus Chase series. So, if you guys are new to the channel or the series where I've been ranking all of the books, be sure to like and subscribe, as it does help out a lot. And yeah, let's just jump right into this. So I guess we'll start here with the Sea of Monsters. I ranked this as the lowest book of the Percy Jackson series, and I still think that is true. It's like a fine book. I'd say it's a little below average, which is why it's in C. Like, S tier is amazing, A tier is like good, B tier is average, C tier is below average, and D tier is like below average. I wouldn't say it's awful, because there's no F tier. F tier would be awful, but I don't think any of these books are awful per se. So they all have some good qualities about them. Just some have more good qualities than others, but I still think that the Sea of Monsters is the worst book of the Percy Jackson series. It's kind of just a little bland, and that's why it comes in the C tier. Okay, the Battle of the Labyrinth, I think this is going to go in the B tier. It's a fine book, but as it compares to some of these other books, it doesn't really compare too well. Though it definitely was a very good penultimate book to the series. And also, like, if you want more of my deeper in-depth thoughts, you should probably watch the original videos. This is just like a overview, but really won't get into the weeds of everything. Okay, The Last Olympian, I think, was a very good conclusion to this book series, and that is why it's coming in the A tier. Though I do think that there are still some books better than The Last Olympian, which is why it's not going in the S tier, because I don't think it's as high quality as some of those other books. But it is definitely still a very good book, and that's why it goes in the A tier. The Lost Hero is also going to go in the B tier, but it's probably going to go high B tier. I feel like this was a very good introduction to the Heroes of Olympus series. Now, it doesn't really stack up against some of these other books in the same series, just because I think that the Heroes of Olympus series is just far and away the best book series in this universe. So, even its first book, it's not going to rank as highly compared to its other books in the same series, because it's just the best series. But it is still a very good introduction to the book, and it's going in B tier. The Son of Neptune is going in S tier. This book is just amazing how it blends Percy's amnesia with we've got a new location. It introduced us to the Roman world, and it's just cool to see Percy Jackson again, and then kind of just get to know him again. And yeah, this book is absolutely amazing, and it's going in S tier. The Mark of Athena. This is probably going in B tier. As I said earlier, this is probably the weakest book of the series. Not to say it's bad or anything, because again, this book series is amazing, but it's probably the weakest book, though. Compared to some of the Percy Jackson books, it's probably better than those. Okay, The House of Hades, I think, is the best book in the whole Riordanverse. So there you go. It's going in S tier. And spoilers, yes, it's coming in at number 1, because I think it's the best. And I mean, as I said earlier in my other video, the Tartarus arc is just amazing, and it propels this book 10 times forward, as well as how our heroes in Tartarus and the heroes in the real world are working together, basically, but not even knowing to close the doors of death. Okay, The Blood of Olympus. I think that would go high B tier. But that's really it, just high B tier. It's better than the Lost Hero, I think. But it's a really good conclusion, but I actually wouldn't say that I like it better than The Last Olympian as a conclusion, because I feel like the Last Olympian tied up its plot points better. So this is still a very good book. Okay, so the first book of the Trials of Apollo series, I'm gonna put it behind the Lost Hero, but ahead of the Mark of Athena. I don't think that's a very good, or actually, it's a pretty good book. It's just that I don't think this series is really good, and you know, some of these plot points that this book set up really didn't get paid off too well. Also, the fact that Meg's arc just didn't make any sense and didn't pay off well at all. So yeah, it's gonna go in B tier. It's a decent start to the book series, but yeah, not really. The book series didn't take it too far elsewhere, though. The Dark Prophecy is going to go in A tier, as I think that it is the best book of this book series. Trials of Apollo really just started off strong and then tailed off towards the end. But I'm pretty sure each of these book series are probably gonna have like at least one book in the S tier, except for the Trials of Apollo. So yeah, that's all you need to know about the book series. Though I do think that the Dark Phoenix did I say Dark Phoenix? Dark Prophecy is the best book of the series. Okay, The Burning Maze. I think that it is the worst book in this whole universe. Like, it made just so many unnecessary choices. Like, why would you kill off Jason but then not kill off Frank? Like, Frank makes more sense to like die than Jason does. Like, I really just don't get it. I don't get that choice, and it really just brings this book all the way down, because like, he was one of our main characters. He was a fan favorite of these books, and you killed him off for basically no reason at all. Like, his death basically, like, what, didn't even do anything. Like, so I don't know. Like, his sacrifice didn't even do anything. And like, also some of the there are some narrative issues with this book. Like, you go into the maze twice, and then, well, no, you go into the maze, and then you basically get a conclusion to that arc, and then you start another arc with Jason and Piper. So yeah, it doesn't really make too much sense. And the plot doesn't really work. So it comes in D tier. Okay, I think that this book is going to definitely go bottom of B tier. It's a decent book. Again, I said, I don't like Frank not dying. I feel like it makes perfect sense for him to die. Like, that whole him accepting that he was, like, just doesn't really make too much sense to me, to be honest. So, yeah, it's going to go in B tier. Like, I like a lot of things about this book. I like the conclusion to Raina's arc. It's just that, yeah, man, Frank should have died, and just really just cheapens it, especially since you killed off Jason, but you won't kill off Frank. Like, what the heck? It makes sense. It makes more sense for Frank to die. His freaking wood burned up. Yeah, anyways, moving on, we're gonna put, Towers of Nero in the D tier. I don't think that this was a very good conclusion to the book series at all, which is why, you know, it is in D tier, and, like, looking at all of the other finales, like, it's even worse than the Ship of Nails, which I think is kind of saying something. So, yeah, it's going in D tier, and this book series really just fell on its face at the end, didn't it? The Red Pyramid, it's gonna go in S tier. I think it's better than the Son of Neptune, but worse than the House of Hades, obviously. But I mean, the Red Pyramid is definitely a very good introduction to this book series. It sets up our characters and the main plot very well, and like, while setting up like the whole plot of the book series, it still has a really good plot itself, and it sets up stuff later down the road that get paid off. So it's gonna go in S tier for me. Okay, the Throne of Fire. I said it in the video, but yeah, these characters in this book are nothing like the characters in the Red Pyramid, alright? Just nothing alike. Well, at least for some stretches of the books. Like, are you kidding me that Sadie wants to go on a birthday over saving the world? Or a birthday party, and then Carter wants to save his fake girlfriend over saving the world? Like, hello? Like, hello? Can anyone... Oh, what is this, man? Like, I get you needed Zia to come back, but like, still, come on. Like, you gotta make a more compelling argument than Carter's stupid, alright? Like, so, yeah. It's gonna go in C tier, and it's lucky that it isn't in D tier, not gonna lie. Okay, I think that the Serpent's Shadow was a pretty good ending and finale to this book series, and you know, like, the characters really didn't make too many dumb decisions. You know, like, this time they actually had a reason for going on the side quest. So there's that. You know, the characters aren't stupid in this book. Let's go. But yeah, it's like, Basically, it's just like it's kind of a sequel to the Red Pyramid. Like it's kind of not though, because it borrows from a lot of things like set up in the Throne of Fire. But like I just prefer not to think about the stupid decisions of the Throne of Fire, or I like just skip those parts. But yeah, the Serpent Shadow definitely is a decent, or not even decent, a really good conclusion to everything set up in the Red Pyramid, and you know everything set up in the Throne of Fire. And it pays all of it off really well. Like I like how Carter and Zia went to the mall after it was set up in the Red Pyramid, even though how they got there was a little bit questionable, you know, just a little bit. Okay, now we're getting to the Magnus Chase books. These are definitely the funniest books of the Riordanverse. And I'm putting Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard in S tier. This is kind of similar, or this book series is kind of similar to the Trials of Apollo, where it kind of just fell flat on its face, but with the final book. But I mean, the first book was pretty good. It got me laughing in all the right places. I really liked the dwarf duel, I suppose, or the dwarf like smelting duel or crafting duel. I feel like that was a really nice touch, and it had a lot of interesting plot points, as well as, you know, all of the plot points followed the overall plot, which was really good. Okay, Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard. I'm gonna put this in B tier, right below the Lost Hero and above the Hidden Oracle. So at least I think that's called the Hidden. I think book one's called the Hidden Oracle, right? But yeah. So again, this book is still very funny. It's just like, I mean, like the plot kind of makes detours, and also it doesn't really make too much sense. I mean, it's still very funny, which is why it's in B tier. But like narrative wise, it might honestly deserve to be in C tier. But I'm gonna put it in B tier. Okay, and then Magnus Chase, the Ship of Nails is gonna go in C tier. I feel like this was not a good conclusion to the book series. I mean, like what the hell's happening? I just don't understand why we have to take another detour. Like, we have to take another detour here to the same part. Like, why do we take the same detour in two books in a row? Also, I feel like the plot's driven forward because they got a yellow boat. Like what? Hello? Come on. Again, it gets lifted up because it's funny. And it's a funny book. But other than that, you know, and also, like, I guess it pays off stuff. You know, it definitely pays off stuff. But the plot just doesn't make any sense. And I feel like how they got there, like, wasn't really good. Though once they got there, it was pretty good. Okay. Okay, the Lightning Thief, I'm going to put it here right under the Bow of the Labyrinth and above the Trials of Apollo, whatever book 4 is called. I really just don't remember. It might be like something about Praetors or something. But yeah, anyways, the Lightning Thief is a really good start to this whole universe. You know, it definitely gets props for starting the whole universe. Obviously, it's a little elementary compared to most of these books, where like it's a little just like one note and not like one-dimensional, not two-dimensional. So that's why it comes so low in B tier. But like for the start of this universe, it was a really good book. And then A tier is going to be the Titan's Curse. I feel like this book is definitely the best of the Percy Jackson series, even better than The Last Olympian. I really liked Percy's arc in this book, and also like the final fight was really good, and you know how they got there. Unlike some of these other books, you know, it actually was pretty good. So yeah, it just like it had a good story and also good payoff, and that's why it comes in A tier. So anyways, that is going to do for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy, and if you guys did, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Too easy.